Hey, 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 this is Seagrove, and we are here with the senior champion from OCIC, Alexandre Solé. I know I said it wrong. Alexander, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we will talk about your deck and your tournament run and everything.
I'm Alexandre Solé. I'm in my last year of senior division, and I just won OCIC, so that's cool.
Yeah, awesome. So, Alexandre, trying. Uh, you're I was sort of interested in Zoro Rock list, and then I've been building it for a while, and I saw yours, which was significantly different. Had a lot. It was like much more wide variety of Pokemon, and had some answers to some of the decks that I struggled against. Why don't you talk to us about a few of these inclusions? First of all, the Absol. What was your plan with your Absol?
So first of all, it's good against Malamar variants because they play Jirachi, so they are forced to use switching cards, and really don't like that because in the end game you can use Sableye to lock up one of their Malamars, and they're probably out of switches because they need to use it for their Jirachi. And then second of all, it can help against Blacephalon to kind of catch her up a Marshadow or a Lele or something useful that's just on the bench, and then they need one more retreat, so it's pretty annoying for them. And that's pretty much it.
Okay. And then the Muck. What was the? I mean, assuming the Muck was for Jirachi.
Um, it was mostly for Jirachi, but in the Malmar against Malmar, you want to play Absol more because of the switch reason, and if you play Muckdown, they they don't bench Jirachi anyway, so
Right.
it was mostly for Zapdos variants. Yeah, Zapdos variants.
Okay. So what about the Sableye? Did you find yourself using it a lot?
Actually, in my top 8 match against Kaya, she was playing Ultra Malamar, and game one, I discarded Sableye, and she asks me like, "Why are you even playing that card? It's so bad." And game two, she's down to one price, out of switches, and I just kind of catch her up, her Ultra Necrozma and limitation it for the game, and I just win against her. So that was pretty funny, and yeah,
Well, let me give
it's
you a demonstration.
yeah, sure.
Awesome. Um, and then Magcargo's obvious. I'm guessing Girafferagus to just like against like Malamars and Blacephalons get rid of their energy permanently, primarily Malamar.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then Marshadow and Lele, very cool. So, other than that, your stadiums. Talk to me about your stadium choices.
So Montrose Labyrinth. If you play the Stadium War against Zapdos and you play Montrose Labyrinth, at last, it's really annoying for them, and you can just start Plumeria. Play Plumeria on them. So they need 2 energy, and it's in the late game they don't have a lot of energy anymore, and that's pretty good against Zapdos. Matlan Aquila also really good against Zapdos. Needs one more retreat for their Jirachi if you don't have
Right.
the muck out. Um, and Lysander Labs is mostly because of a skateboard choice event against Pikachu Zekrom. And you don't play tools, so it doesn't annoy you.
Right. What about the um, the Wondrous Labyrinth? Did you ever find yourself wishing you hadn't played it because you had to attack for one more, or are you really not attacking that much?
Um, I guess, but play, you kind of play around your own Wondrous Labyrinth
Right.
because you need you need to think about it. Like your Oranguru needs 2 energy with the Wondrous Labyrinth, and you have DCE anyway. So, and you don't really attack with your Zoroarks anyway, so it's not that big of a problem.
Okay. Talk to us about some of your more interesting matchups in your tournament run.
Um, so I played against a Pessimian in round 3, and I was kind of scared at first because I didn't play. Well, I didn't play test against it, and so I knew Absol was a big thing because then the Cocos can retreat for free, and he also played a Macargo, which made it pretty easy to just counter catcher it with a and Sableye it and limitation it.
Okay.
And yeah, he ran out of energy because Plumeria and E-Hammer and those things, and he just conceded. And we didn't get to game 3, I think, because there wasn't enough time.
Okay. Um, you said, were there any other matchups that you found
Oh yeah.
interesting? You said your top 8 one, and you kind of talked to us through that. What other ones?
I played round 1 against Zoro Rocario, which I didn't play against it before because it was kind of a new deck with Stepane's archetype. So
Yeah.
I tied against that because the Lucarios can be really aggressive, but you can play around it by counter catching their Riolu and kill it with Zoroark.
Right.
And also, One Trust Labyrinth is amazing against its late game. Also, as well as the Marshadow and the actually, everything is good against it in your deck. It's
Yeah.
like you have Lycanroc to annoy them with energy discardment and E-Hammer to discard their special energies. And I also had the Team Skullgrunt for double DCEs, which was really nice. Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. Any other ones, or are those the more interesting ones?
Well, yeah, that was about it. I had my finals, which was horrible, but other than that, not really.
When you won, what was going through your mind?
Well, I was really happy because, well, obviously, because I won an international, and that was one of my goals of this season.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I was kind of disappointed because uh, I didn't read my Lycanroc properly. Yeah, because the day before, one of my testmates, Julius, said to me like, "Why don't you play the Lycanroc in your deck?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, cool. That's actually pretty good." And I didn't actually read it, which was which was kind of no good.
Yeah. What didn't you realize about it? The ability or the attack? Or
So yeah, the ability on stream I used the Twilight Eyes, I believe it's called, for a benched energy while it's only on the active, and yeah, so I evolved it to no effect, and
okay. Oof.
yeah,
Um,
big oof.
so, when you won, were you like most excited about just meeting your goal of winning an international, of just having the experience of being in the finals, of winning the money? What were you most excited about?
Well, first of all, the goal. Well, yeah, it was my biggest goal of the season, I guess, outside of Worlds.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then also it's kind of put me into contention of first of the world because now I am second of the world with like 80 points difference with the first one, so that's pretty cool.
That's great.
Yeah.
Awesome. So this is your last year in seniors, right?
Yeah.
Are you planning to continue into masters, and what are your thoughts about moving into masters?
I probably will slow down a little bit in masters because like studies and school and stuff. But I probably will play in the first internationals and some of the European regionals as well. And yeah, and I'll see how well I'll do in those regionals.
Mm-hmm.
And if I do well, I'll probably continue to play more regionals, I guess.
Sure. Cool. Do you think this deck has a good place in as the meta is evolving to where it is currently? Do you think it has a good place?
Um, Well, it's annoying that Blacephalon won the regionals, so it gained more popularity, and Blacephalon is really a bad matchup.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess you can make some adjustments against that deck, but yeah, it's Zoro Control has like two bad matchups, and those are Pikachu, Zekrom, and Blacephalon,
Mm-hmm.
and those two are really popular at the moment. So I don't think it's really good in the Masters. Maybe in the seniors it could be still good, but I doubt it.
Okay. Let me ask you a few questions about what you just said. In Blacephalon, what sort of text do you think you could, or changes could you make to help that matchup?
So I was thinking about letting out the Rockruff, well, the Lycanroc line and the Girafarig, and yeah, the Girafarig for um, more Sableye, changing the Wondrous Labyrinth for Black Market, more energies, more dark energies, and Brock's Grid and a Persian, so you can control their hand size more and discard their really useful resources like Guzma and fire energies. So I think if you make those adjustments, your matchups go well, they get way better, I guess, because
Mm-hmm.
the Persian is actually really good. I tested some games with it, and with Sableye, their hand stays like really big with like 7 cards or something like that, and you just discard really useful resources with Persian.
Okay. What makes the Pikachu Zekrom matchup so hard?
Um, well, they accelerate energies really fast. Well, if they get off their first full blitz, they'll. It's really hard for you to come back. You need to kill two Pikachu Zekroms, which is already pretty hard with
Right.
even with the Lycanroc. Um, yeah, and then they also have the Zorora. In case you want to lock them, they just attach to Zorora, and the ability is also really annoying of Zorora. I
Yeah.
guess you have a little muck, but it doesn't help a ton.
Okay. Um, Last question. You mentioned that you had considered some other decks. What other decks did you consider, and why did you end up going with this one?
I considered Lost March and I considered Grumble. I was settled on Grumble, but I played a few games against Pikachu Zekrom, and it seems to me that Pikachu Zekrom's full blitz is really bad for you because I tagged unit energies and baby buzzin, so you can one shot a Pikachu Zekrom. But yeah, the full blitz is really bad against that. And then Lost March, I just had a really bad list, so I fell back on Zoro Control.
Okay. Cool. Um, are you planning on going to the international in North America?
Yeah, well, I first need to get a stipend, but even if I don't get a stipend, I'll probably just go since I go
Okay.
to more tournaments than the other Europeans are going to. So I hope so.
Okay. Awesome. Well, good luck there and at Worlds, and I look forward to your performances at those tournaments and coming into Masters.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah, and congratulations again, Alexandre, and thank you for your time.
Yeah, thanks.
Shout out to my patrons, Caleb Vance, Dan Nelson, Pokestats. Thank you guys so much. And Alex Haney and Daniel. Appreciate it a lot. Steve, Enrico, Jess Swinson, Stefan Ivanov, Cecil, Gabe, Will, and Brian. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel, supporting me, and helping me continue to produce content, which I believe is beneficial for people who are watching. Thanks again. Peace out.